What up, everybody? Thank you so much for the sub, Caitlin. That was awesome. I just realized I didn't put any music on, but that's fine. I'll work on that while we get started. Hi.
Hi.
Oh, shout out didn't
Oh,
work.
you weren't talking
That's
to me.
because
You were
that's
talking
not
to
his
people.
name, is it? Oh, he changed. No, that's not his name anymore, Pesky. That's just the name. It shows up on Slap for some reason. But thank you for trying. How are you, Katie?
Well, I am good. How are you, Shaka?
You're gonna say Sean, and you
I
changed
was
to
gonna say
Shaka halfway through. Nice. I'm good. I'm good. So let's start this how we always try to start this is how have your last 2 weeks been?
They've been quite horrible.
Oh, wow.
Just
Wow.
kidding. I mean, dramatic. No, it's been busy.
Yeah.
Lots and lots of schoolwork.
Yeah.
Today was my first day since things calmed down. So, yeah. How have your last? How's your microphone doing? You doing okay?
Sorry, I'm moving it because it's in the way. I can't see you. So
Oh, you didn't.
I
like
wanted
my...
it in the frame, but then I can't
You're gonna
see.
be
It's like
microphone
literally
buddies.
perfectly blocking your face if I do that. So then I can't.
I can just turn my gain up, Pesky. Is that up or is that down?
I can turn you up. I can just turn you up. I got it.
Okay, that's probably better. Yeah, make me way louder.
Yeah, keep sound checking it for me, Pesky. I appreciate that.
How've your last 2 weeks been?
Not bad. Busy here too.
Yep.
Stream stuff mostly. Now that I have a bunch of subscribers, I'm trying to find ways to keep them, so it's a lot of adding things.
That's the hard part.
I do have a pesky sound now though. I don't know if you'll hear it. Oh wait, I can't do it. Pesky has to do it. But Pesky has her own sound that when she plays it, it'll do Peeves laughing and saying something. So
that's awesome.
But
now you had a stream where you reached your subscriber goal.
I did. Yep, I did.
And how did you celebrate that? Tell us about that.
Well, then we did the hair straightening stream. For those who didn't catch that, we were so Pesky, that sound alert is through a different thing, so that one will work, but you don't have to. Yeah, I could turn those off too, but
here I've come from the toilet bowl where she said I could.
Anyway.
Did you practice your mole?
So
Thank you,
you braided
Becky,
your
for
hair.
showing that.
You straightened your hair.
I straightened my hair and then braided my hair, and people were very entertained and enjoyed it very much. So awesome. All the pictures of that are on our Discord. I don't know if I posted many on other socials. I still need to. And then the video, I think the VOD might be out there, but I need to go through and find some clips from it to post. But yeah, so that was a thing that happened. There's lots of pictures though. Lots of picture evidence. So. And then awesome. I left the braids in overnight and took it out the next morning. It was like had that crimped look. I think I sent you some pictures of that. So that was a good time.
That's awesome.
It actually was a lot faster to straighten than I anticipated.
I thought it was
gonna take a lot longer. It was like a half hour. The braids took like triple the time.
Yeah.
But I expected that to take longer. Or the straightening to take longer. Just checking things. Okay, we're good. Cool. Anyway. Yeah, so today we were gonna do kind of another Am I the Asshole / other random stories to discuss, because that seemed to be pretty popular last week.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
I think you had one in mind you wanted to talk about right away, so we can we can start with that one.
Okay, so I was just scrolling on Reddit looking for some interesting stuff, and I came across a Reddit thread that I was like, I have the perfect contribution to this thread. Okay. So before I tell you what the thread is, I will tell you my story, because this actually was in the last 2 weeks. Something pretty crazy did actually happen. So,
Pesky's dyeing her hair right now, so that's why.
Oh, I was like, you have to wash your hair right now. I lost my train of thought. Sorry. So the last 2 weeks have been a little crazy because we've been doing in one of my trial classes. Hey, what's up?
Welcome in, Big J.
Thanks for joining. We were doing mini trials, so we've been working on trial skills all semester, and now we're actually doing the trials. And so I had one last Thursday, and then I had 4 days to get ready for another one this past Tuesday. So it's been a little crazy.
Yep.
But on Wednesday night last week, it's like 10:30 p.m. and I'm trying to get ready, get practicing and all that kind of stuff, I get a FaceTime call from one of my law school friends.
Yep.
And I actually don't know that I told mom and dad the story either. So, and it was like a group FaceTime. So like all the girls in our friend group show up in this FaceTime, and I'm like, what's going on? So earlier, the day before, my friend Jordan had found in her backpack a little tiny plastic duck.
Okay.
And it was weird. She was like, I like take stuff out of my bag every day. Like, I don't know where this came from. She's like, I collect rubber ducks, so I wonder if somebody put this in here because they know that. I don't know. And so I didn't think anything of it. I was like, whatever. Jordan FaceTimes us and goes, I just got home. I've been gone all day. There were 3 plastic ducks outside on my doorstep going into my condo.
Yeah.
She's like, so somebody was at my house. And I was like, that's so crazy. So she went inside and she was like, that's so weird. Did any of you do this? We were like, no. So she goes inside, she closed her door, whatever. And somebody was like, well, show us the first one that you got, like the original one. So she goes to her bookshelf to show us, and there's a new one right next to it.
Oh,
she didn't put there.
My God. Okay.
And so we're like, wait a second. And then she goes in the living room and there's one on her piano. And she's like, she's like, somebody was in my apartment. Can somebody just tell me who did this? Like, this is crazy. And we were all like, none of us did this. Like, and we're all blaming each other. It became like, in Parks and Rec when Ron breaks the coffee maker and then makes everybody blame each other. We were all blaming each other. And then I just thought it was crazy because she was finding him in weird places. And I was like, go check the fridge. Because I was like, that'll be so funny if it's in the fridge. She opens it and there's 2 in the fridge. And so then they're like, well, Katie Ray
It had to be you. Yeah.
Like,
why would you
know?
know?
Like, I wouldn't have said that if I did it.
Right.
And so she keeps finding them and she's kind of freaking out and nobody's fessing up to it. And she's like, my door was locked. I've been gone all day. My friend in Cookville has my spare key an hour away. Because like 2 weeks prior to that, Jordan had gotten locked out of her apartment.
Okay.
And she was like, Casey has my spare key in Cookville. I probably shouldn't say all of this, but I'm going to. She figured out how to break into her own apartment.
Okay.
And told us all how she did it.
Okay.
So either her friend in Cookville with her spare key did it, or one of us
used the
that
method that
she
she
told
figured
us,
out. Yeah.
or it's not a hard method. I'm not going to tell you what it is,
Right.
but like it's not hard. And so, or a stranger found their way inside.
Right.
So she keeps finding him and she keeps finding them. And she's starting to kind of freak out. She's like, literally someone was in my apartment while I was not home. And like we're all getting our alibis together. Unfortunately, I was home all day practicing for my trial. So like I didn't have an alibi. They all had class and then they all got together to do their nails and like I was just unaccounted for.
So you're the only one without an alibi, really.
Right. So we're like, well, call Casey. She has it's none of us. Like nobody's at this point. It's not funny. Like none of us did this.
Right.
Call your friend with the spare key and like ask her because it's an hour away. But I was like, you're telling me she came and put it in your backpack yesterday, went back, came back today and put them in your house and then went back. Like she's not going to drive 4 hours to put some ducks in your house,
Right.
So she calls her friend and her friend's like, I don't have your spare key. Like I gave it back to you.
Oh.
It's like I'm in Cookville. So none of us know where her spare key is.
Okay.
And we're like, okay, well, that's a problem. We're like, well, maybe it was the guy who works on your sink. Maybe it was the guy who owns the condo that has a key.
Right.
Like, can you talk to your neighbor and ask him if he saw anybody come in? And she's like, okay, guys, like, I'm getting kind of freaked out. Like, I'm going to call my parents and I'm going to talk to them and ask what I should do. She's like, so like, if you did it, tell me now, because I'm literally going to call my parents.
It's going to escalate at this point. Yeah.
Didn't do it. And they were like, where was Cody today? And I was like, unfortunately, he was home with me. So his alibi is not great either. So she goes and she calls her dad and her mom's asleep. So they wake up her mom out of bed and she tells her parents. And it's kind of funny because her dad a few weeks earlier had been like, Jordan, you're not important enough to have a stalker. Like nobody would stalk you.
Wow.
And I'm like, well, you'll show him. I kind of pictured him being like, Jordan, you're making the story up to prove that you're cool enough to have a stalker.
Well, right. Yeah. Yeah.
But he wakes up her mom, gets her out of bed, and starts being like, they're like the freaky thing is like someone was in her apartment and she doesn't know who it was. Like that's regardless of the fact that there's tons of ducks in her house and that's so silly. Like that's kind of freaky. So they're like, you should go stay at one of your friend's house, pack a bag, go to your friend's house. We'll look at flights to come stay there. You should call the cops. And like non-emergency number, just call and tell them like someone's
What's
been in your
going on?
apartment, whatever.
Yeah.
So she hangs up and she comes back to the FaceTime with us and tells us what they said. And finally, my friend Michaela just fesses up. And she's like, well, don't call the cops. That was the line. Not pulling her parents up out of bed.
Are you kidding me?
So she's like,
Should let it
Jordan,
go
we've been doing
that
this.
far?
She said, we've been doing this for 2 weeks. Every time I come over to your house, I just leave a duck somewhere in your house. There was one in a shot glass. There was one in the shower. She said, Jordan, there's 200 ducks in your house. She's found like 15 at this point.
Jesus.
And she's like, she sends a selfie of her and her friend outside the front door taking a selfie right before they use that technique to break into her house.
I can't believe they let it go that far, though. This poor girl's freaking out.
I know. None of us, the rest of us were like, I'm serious, before you call your dad is when we would have ended it. And she was
Yeah.
like, well, no, I'm not going to stop you from calling your dad. Calling the police, I will stop. And so she had her mom on the phone later and her mom's yelling, Michaela, what do you have to say for yourself?
That's so awful.
It was, and nobody trusted anybody in our friend group for a period of time.
That's too much. That's literally too much.
So the name of the Reddit thread, let me see if I can find it now. What are some harmless ways to mess with people? And this was
So that
Alex
was your
like reading it and I was
story.
like, I have that. Like I was reading one that was like kind of a similar prank and I was like, I'm not gonna read this. I have my own.
Right.
And then Jordan is so messed up. She was like, wow, I can't believe Michaela loves me that much. And I was like, Jordan, if you ever get kidnapped, you're falling in love with your captor.
Oh,
That's what's gonna
100%.
happen.
Oh, 100%. Stockholm syndrome to a T.
Yes, 1000%. So anyway, that was the thread. None of the other ones are really as good as my story, to be honest with you. So that's just what it is.
I'll tell you, I scrolled stories for a very long time because I wanted ones where it wasn't either clearly like it's straightforward, like there's no way in hell you are the asshole. You know what I mean? Like there's no way you did anything wrong in this story. Because a lot of the ones that you come across, it's like, well, obviously you didn't do anything wrong. But at the same time, there could be like a way that there's another side of the story. We talked about that last time, where every single story has another side. And I was having trouble because a lot of the ones I was finding were like, okay, you don't even know why you're posting this here. Of course you're not the asshole, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, exactly.
So I tried to grab a handful
story,
that at least there's some ambiguity as to either there's ambiguity on what you should have done, or like it's just a funny story, like one of the two. Like that, I tried to keep it entertaining. So I think what I should start with here.
It was really hard. I was having the same problem because like there were a lot that not the asshole ones that were like, they were a jerk to me, so I said, get out of my house. And I'm like, okay, thanks for sharing.
Yeah,
that's
good
nice.
story. Pesky makes up a good point. There's this YouTube video, I don't know if you've seen it, this guy it's this comedian. It's the same guy who messes with scammers sometimes, not like hilariously, like he'll send emails back and forth with the scamming companies.
Yeah.
But anyway, basically this instance was he lived with roommates, and they said something like you're allowed one cubby of like bathroom stuff, so the bathroom isn't too clogged up like with everybody's crap. And he just filled it to the brim with ducks. That's how it started. And the guy's like, this is too many ducks, what are you doing? And then he slowly starts filling it with more and more ducks in the apartment, more and more, until it becomes this like he like makes it look like they're coming out of the bathroom drain. They're like small ones that get bigger. He has them
That's
like
so
around
funny.
like they're mostly in the bathroom, but they're around the apartment. Like I can't remember specifically. He just does more and more elaborate things with the ducks. And he's like showing the text conversation with him and his roommate, and his roommate's finally like, you can't have any more ducks. If you have a single another duck in this apartment, I'm kicking you out or something like that. And he's like, let me have one duck. And the roommate's like, all right, fine, you can have one duck. And then he reveals that it's this giant rubber duck that fills the entire bathroom.
That's so funny.
Remind me after this, I'll send you that video. It's very funny.
Yeah,
Pesky's
please.
right. That sounds very similar to what happened to
That's
Jordan. And then
It
you should
was-
send
I
that to
mean,
Jordan.
Yeah, I will. I'll be like, guys, it could be worse.
It could be worse, yeah. Well, at least then you knew who did it, I guess, is one thing, though, with this guy.
Yeah, that's so true. I can't believe like she was ready to pack a bag. That was so funny.
Right. I want to keep it light for the first one because we get pretty dark on some of these sometimes. Like last
Yeah, that was a little
last
surprising
one there was a
last
little bit
time.
of a dark. We took a dark turn on that.
Yep. You have to hydrate. And
Oh,
check
hydrate?
your posture.
Thank you.
And stretch.
Bend and stretch. That's what I was thinking when that comes up.
Bend and stretch. The bend is the stretch.
Or bend and snap. That's what it is. I never said that out loud
Yes.
before. I just realized.
Not the darkest timeline. So true.
So true. So true. Okay, so I'm going to start with this one, which is about a dog.
Okay. Is
And-
there a sad story about a dog?
No, the dog is happy. Let's put it that way. The dog is not the problem. Is not
Okay.
in distress in any way.
This
And-
isn't like a John Wick situation where they trick me into liking the dog.
right.
and
No,
then-
the dog is fine throughout.
Cool.
The dog is happily cared for throughout.
Okay, sounds good.
But one thing I did see in another person's podcast, and I wish I'd written the name down so I could give them credit, but they read the title of the story, and then they kind of gauge what their opinions are going to be based on that alone, and then they get context. Now the problem is I know the story, so I'm just gonna have to get your take on it because I already
No,
know.
that's fine. Yeah.
I read
Yeah.
through it to make sure it was entertaining enough to discuss.
Right.
So the title is, "Am I the asshole for not returning a neighbor's dog after she disappeared for months?"
I mean, these titles are always so misleading, and I feel like they're intentionally misleading, so that's fine.
What's up, Mad Mirth, Radical, Pesky's in there, Be Known, welcome Be Known. Sorry, I just want to give some shout
Oh
outs
my
while you're
gosh,
thinking.
Mad Murph is not my father. I really thought that was.
Mad Murph is your father.
Oh, it is. Okay then. Because I was like, I
So
definitely was.
when you use the sticker thing, for some reason it uses whatever your original like Twitch name was. It doesn't use your
Got
updated
it.
one. So it kept saying Old Paint when he was doing the sticker thing, but when he chats, it's back to
Okay, that
that's
makes
where
way
the
more
confusion
sense.
is. That's
I was
why
like,
Pesky
who
shouted
is
out the wrong name
this?
earlier, is because it
That's
keeps calling
funny.
him MN Old Paint, but that's not his name anymore.
That's funny.
Thank you,
Okay,
Pesky, for keeping
anyway.
up on the shout outs while we chat. I really appreciate you.
Until she
I
has to
didn't do
wash
the
her hair.
stretch. I didn't do the stretch. I did the posture.
Yeah,
Stretch.
come
Okay, so
on.
what's your
That's how you
thoughts,
do-
though? I want to hear your thoughts.
I need to know, like, so is he saying she came back and then he didn't get the dog back?
Well,
Is
that's
that the
where you're gonna
implication?
find out. That's what you're gonna find
If
out.
she came back, that's not nice. It's her dog. So it depends on why she left him.
All right, I'm gonna read the story now. Then
Give her the dog back.
my neighbor, we'll call Sally, and I got along fine enough and would help each other with small things sometimes, i.e., get packages, but not close enough to be friends or hang out. Many months back, she had approached me and asked if I'd be willing to help watch her dog for a while she was on vacation. I knew that she had taken in a stray a few weeks prior, but the dog never had any issues, so I said sure. I already had a dog, so I'm familiar with them, and Sally said she'd Venmo me some money for food and care. On the day she was supposed to return, she never came for her dog. I waited a few days, and going next door and before going next door, and I ran into her brother, who said that she wasn't on vacation, she had actually moved back to their home country. I tried to contact her, but she ignored me. At first it was because she had only paid me to watch her dog for 2 weeks, but after a month had passed, I was genuinely confused and concerned. I DM'd her on socials, and even though she was actively posting, she never responded. I didn't feel like her life was in danger though, since her posts seemed to be updating in real time of her doing fun things.
Listen, kidnappers are good at that. So once again, I can't shut
That's
up.
a
when
good
it
no.
comes-
You can pipe in. I'm happy to hear your thoughts.
Kidnappers are really good at that. I'm just
Yep.
saying.
Yep.
Anyway.
I ended up having to take Sally's dog to the vet for a checkup. He ended up being fine. And while there, the vet actually let me know that the dog wasn't microchipped. It had already been several months at this point, so I decided to claim ownership. Lo and
She's
behold,
gone. So I'm good with it at this point. That's okay.
she'd only had the spare dog for 2 weeks. It's been months now. Yeah.
Fine.
Lo and behold, Sally appears at my doorstep and wants her dog back. At that point, I said no. I had been paying for the dog's upkeep and he was now part of the family. So she also never responded to my messages. Even if something happened back home, all she had to do was let me know. But I told her that since she just ghosted me for months, then she forwarded her right to the dog. Especially since she never registered or microchipped the stray. My vet says it'll be hard for Sally to prove she has rights to the dog because she has no paperwork to show she cared for the animal, never took him to the vet. My boyfriend thinks I'm the asshole because technically the dog was Sally's pet first, and if I had technically owned even if I've not technically owned the dog longer than Sally has. Wait. That doesn't make sense. We're in a feud now, so I just wanted to make sure I'm in the right. So she's claimed.
So she did come back? Is that what happened?
So yeah, so Sally comes back. Sally's the one whose dog it is.
Okay,
she comes back after months
remember.
and wants her dog back. At the end of the story, she claims she hasn't. I didn't notice this till I was reading out loud. She claims that she has not had it longer than Sally did. But at the beginning of the story, she said she knew she'd gotten a stray a few weeks prior. So that part doesn't add up.
Maybe it was a typo.
What's up, Envy? Thanks for hopping in.
Maybe it was just a typo.
But that's either way. Even if I've had the dog longer than Sally had, I think that's what she meant.
I think probably.
He thinks I'm the asshole because technically the dog was Sally's pet first, even if I've now had it longer than she did. I think that's what she's trying to say.
Yeah.
Her boyfriend thinks she should have returned the dog, even though she's had it for a few months when she'd only had it for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Nice, Envy. Yeah. So I'm guessing you think that they're not the asshole for keeping the dog.
Sometimes I get distracted and have trouble remembering all the details. So he was pet sitting the dog?
So she was pet sitting the dog for her neighbor.
Yeah, okay. I just wanted to remember if that's what was happening. She
The neighbor
just
said, "I'm
find
going
the
on
dog
vacation."
in the house, just like.
Right. The neighbor said to give a quick recap for those either just joining or for Katie, who kind of got ADD and just got distracted with you.
I do. I get a little.
Quick recap was the neighbor took in a stray. 2 weeks later, they ask this person who posted the story to watch their dog while they go on vacation for like 2 weeks or something to that effect. They pay them money for food or whatever for that time frame, and then they leave. Fast forward a month.
Just for that time frame. Okay. That was the detail I missed.
The day they were supposed to pick them up, they didn't show up. No, and after a month, there was no calls, no texts. They were reaching out to them on social media.
Yeah.
The person was posting on social media, but not responding to any of their messages. So then they just kept the dog, took it to the vet. The vet told them it's not microchipped or anything. Decided to just keep the dog. And fast forward a month or two more, they finally come back for the dog, and they say, no, you can't have him. And
I mean, obviously, I feel like the easy answer is like, not the asshole, the original owner's the asshole. But I want to know what's going on with the original owner. Like, I don't know. Maybe stuff happened.
Well, and that was the other thing. Early on, the person said they ran into the dog owner's brother, and the brother told her that she isn't on vacation. She moved back to their home country. Is what he claimed.
Which wasn't true because she came back.
That's the part that she doesn't.
Move.
That's the part she doesn't talk anymore on. Is that why she came back, or if she really did move or anything like that?
Like, okay, I'm here. Give me my dog.
I'm wondering if she was transitioning there to move, and then just finally was like, okay, I want my dog back now, and didn't think anything of leaving there for like 6 months longer than she said she would.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's what I think too, Envy, is that you had a set up pickup date. It's not your dog anymore. Now, and again, if it is ever to go to court for some reason, they don't have, which I know you can kind of, there's no proof that it was their dog. It was a stray. They never took him to the vet. It wasn't microchipped. There was no proof.
Well, the dog was abandoned, right?
Well, there's that too, but it was abandoned when the first neighbor, like when the original owner, took him anyway. So now he's just abandoned again, and this person took him. So it's like, they have as much right to it as whoever had it before the neighbor did, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. I just want to know what's going on with the neighbor. Like, is she good?
That's a good point, Envy. I figured.
I want to know if she's okay. That's all I'm really thinking about. Like,
the dog is okay. That's all.
What was going on with the neighbor? Is she just a shitty person who doesn't care about her dog, or like?
She's clearly fine. She came back looking for the dog. She's fine.
Something's going on there. That's weird. Because it's so easy, and I agree. Like, based on that alone, not the asshole. You took care of a dog, but like, I need to know what happened in that neighbor's life, because that's weird. Yeah, they were being active on social media.
That's the thing too. They were being active on social media and posting, and it wasn't like they were like they mentioned at one point they're like maybe there was something bad happening. They were kidnapped or something while they're on vacation, but they were posting fun things on Facebook. So it was clear that it wasn't that situation.
I need names. I need to Google look up their Facebooks.
One of the top comments is rehome boyfriend, keep the dog, block Sally. Because the boyfriend's the one who said you're kind of an asshole for keeping your neighbor's dog. Yeah.
I mean, like, it's like, well, he's gonna keep the dog, like it's her dog, but like, she just left the dog. Yeah.
So the reason I want to talk about was because your initial reaction was give the dog back. It's their dog. But now that you have some context, because like
context, obviously,
the comments are pretty much overwhelmingly you're not the asshole, but it is still it's a weird situation to be sure.
I want to know what's going on with the neighbor.
Yeah.
I feel like she may honestly just be a bad person who's like, I don't care, take my dog, I got places to be. But then her brother thought she moved. So like, I feel like something's going on there.
This is giving me Legally Blonde vibes. It's like, it's my dog or something. Whatever. I was like,
I'm taking the dog.
That's
dumbass.
There it is. Yeah.
That one.
There it is. Thank you. Yeah. I didn't make that connection till just now. That's hilarious.
My trial teacher uses 2 main clips in his his basic trial class to teach us about cross-examinations. He uses Legally Blonde, the big scene at the end where she gets her to admit that she did it.
Yep.
And then the scene from a movie I've never seen, which is Men, Good Men, with Tom Cruise. It's like a really famous movie. Tom Cruise.
A Few Good Men.
Jack Nicholson. A Few Good Men. I knew that there were an amount of good men, but I couldn't think of how many.
I can't take credit. Murph had it in the chat for me.
A few of. That's exactly the scene. Mad Murph. It was that scene, and I didn't know what movie it was. I was like, I've never seen this in my life. And then he says that line, and I'm like, oh, that's what that's from. Who knew?
That's, you know what, that's a good podcast idea. Is we'll watch trial scenes, and you tell me what they did right and wrong.
Oh my gosh, that'd be so funny.
I have to make a note. I'm gonna make a note of that.
Cochran's like obviously they're like outlandish, but it's like that's how you do a cross. Like you want to corner them, and this are the techniques to corner them.
There's an entire.
And then
Oh, go ahead. Finish your thought. I was interrupting.
Well, somebody said to TikTok in my trial class the other day that's like, Elle Woods doing that cross-examination, but Jack Nicholson on the stand from that other scene and just mashed them together. And I was like, this is his dream.
That's really good. That's really good.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, there's this entire YouTube channel called Legal Eagle where he literally does that. He's a lawyer who reacts to television and movie scenes of trials and stuff and says what they did wrong and what they didn't do wrong. I think the number one thing I tend to see on there is people walking right up to the witness like all the time, and that's like not a no-no, or the person on the stand, I should say.
Yeah, a lot of judges
they do that in the movies all the time.
The witness.
Yeah, and he always calls it out. He's like, you can't just walk up to him.
I have to ask if I can approach the witness in class even.
Yeah.
Which brings up an interesting topic, which is not a podcast topic at all, but I'm thinking of changing my TikTok name to The Singing Lawyer instead of Catering Music, so that it can be like.
That should be your thing on everything.
Just TikTok.
Well, like your Twitch name, like all that stuff. Yeah. You could do that.
Yeah, because like Instagram's fine, like whatever, but like those, I can be like, then I can combine it and be like, I'm doing this law stuff, but also here's music stuff.
Yep. Yeah. I like that.
Just a thought. Anyway.
I like that. All right, your turn.
Oh, have you seen the TikTok account with the girl who reads court transcripts?
No.
Oh my gosh, it's so
that is a different
funny.
For You page than mine.
Yeah, that's true. It's so funny. I'll send you some of her videos, but she is a lawyer, and so she she's so ridiculous, but she'll read the most absurd court transcripts of like defendants just saying the most crazy shit in there. And then she'll like have her little sunglasses on and be like so dramatic about it. I'll send it to you. It's very funny.
Murph is sending you some legal songs that you can sing as the singing lawyer.
I can't sing I Shot the Sheriff.
You need to write one is what you need.
Oh my gosh.
Something about how you always hear about the people going to jail. You never hear about the people defending them or something like that.
Yeah. but you didn't shoot the deputy. Oh, I was gonna pull up one. That's what I was gonna do. I like my brain glitched. There's too much happening.
Whenever this happened with the moment before with the ADD thing, I keep picturing that scene from that SNL recently with Pedro Pascal, and he's like, my son don't have ADD. He just like to jump. You haven't seen that yet? You haven't seen that yet?
Different for you.
Oh my god. No, he was on SNL. And he had so many good skits on there. That was one of them.
Yeah. Okay, Oh, I never watched it. I never watched that episode.
Oh my god,
that
you
was
need
my
to watch
mistake.
all.
That was my
you need to
mistake.
watch
Yeah.
the whole thing, but though that one and the Mario Kart one are really good.
Yeah. Yeah.
They did a bit
I
about
think
if they made a video game movie about Mario Kart instead of The Last of Us.
I saw the behind the scenes of that one, but I
Okay.
never actually saw the skit.
Yeah, he's hilarious. Anyway, to get
Okay.
us back on track.
I need to watch the Nicolas Cage movie he's in.
Yeah, we haven't
But
seen that yet either.
The whole meme is from.
We haven't seen that yet either. I just saw a really good clip from it. That makes me want to watch it really bad.
Did you see the video I just sent of the Jeremy Renner
Oh yes, I did.
interview that's coming
I
out?
watched the trailer for it. Yep.
Crazy.
Yep.
Crazy. Okay, let's see. This one's up for discussion. So I have another one that I feel like is very straightforward. So we'll do this one first.
All right, sounds good.
I'll read you the title first. Am I the asshole for laughing at my fiance's response to our disagreement on dishwasher loading? It's not a very descriptive
Wait,
title.
say it one more time. Something about.
Am I the asshole for laughing at my fiance's response to our disagreement on dishwasher loading?
This feels like that New Girl episode where they teach Schmidt how to do laundry.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. That's a good episode. I knew that Pesky would be intrigued because you guys, as a married couple, will probably have feelings.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. She has an edit, but I'm not going to read that first. Okay, original post. Some background. Me, female 32, and my fiance, male 38, have been together for 6 years, engaged very recently. The relationship is great overall, but we disagree sometimes on division of household chores. Last night, I was loading the dishwasher while listening to him talk about his day. It was a bad day. When he went quiet, I looked up to find him staring with his arms crossed. I knew it was because he didn't like how I was loading the dishwasher. He has very strong opinions on how dishes should be done. I laughed and said, What did I do incorrectly? And he pointed out what he thinks I did wrong. Those two dishes are touching. That dish shouldn't be here. That dish wasn't rinsed enough before you put it in. I nodded and said, well, you could take over doing the dishes if you want them done a certain way. For context, he's currently in charge of yard work and taking out the garbage. I do pretty much everything else around the house. He huffed and said, so when I come to you to solve this problem, your response is just to suggest I do it? I couldn't help it. I laughed. Yes, that is exactly what I am suggesting, my guy. He didn't like that and promptly went to bed. I figured he was just worked up because he had a long day, but when he got up the next morning and went straight to work without saying bye to me like he normally does, it makes me wonder if I was being insensitive.
I will say, not saying goodbye when you leave is a big, like, you gotta be really mad for that.
Yeah. I don't always say goodbye before I leave if it's like when I'm leaving at like 7 a.m. though, and Cody worked till midnight. But otherwise, I will say goodbye.
Well, right. Brittany, Pesky, whatever, is in a meeting usually or sometimes when I'm leaving, so that's the only exception. But
I thought.
So what was she? I missed the part. I missed the part. What was she doing wrong?
There was a few things. He said 2 dishes were touching.
Okay.
He didn't like that. A dish was in a place that he thought it shouldn't be.
Okay.
1 dish wasn't rinsed enough before you put it in.
Okay.
That were like just the examples she put down.
Yeah.
But I think the thing is like, if you're gonna expect somebody else to do it,
right?
Like, you have to let them do it their way.
Well, and here's a side I'll take on it. I think the question comes down to who's gonna unload it, and if they did it wrong, and the dishes aren't clean, then that's annoying. Like if you're like, I'll load it if you unload it, but then you go to unload it and like half of them are dirty because you loaded them inefficiently. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah.
So if you have to leave,
that makes sense.
If you have to leave like half of them in there and then rewash it, then that's a whole that's a problem. Now, if you're the only one like doing like both sides of it, then it's your own fault. You're just gonna have to rewash them yourself, and that's not a big deal. Like that's you're just doing it to yourself. But
I just feel like if you have that many critiques about it, like
Then
that
just
would
do
be my
it, yeah.
response to him. Like, dude, I do the dishes all the time. If you don't like how I do it, then you can do it.
well, that's the thing too. Clearly,
Like,
I know how to do it. If I'm
why?
doing it, you know, if I'm the one doing it, then I know how to do it.
Yeah, Envy, that's exactly that's what
There's
I do.
that
I'm like,
too,
oh, this
yeah.
is still dirty. Put it right in the sink. I'm like, good luck.
I just leave it in the dishwasher, and I'm like, that will be in there for the next round.
But like our last dishwasher at our last place sucked. Like things were always still dirty when it was done, no matter how you did it, you know?
Right.
Yeah, Pesky, I say not the asshole.
Asshole.
not, not the asshole. But like, I mean, obviously if you don't rinse something enough and it's still dirty, he's gonna be frustrated by that. But like I would be annoyed if you are critiquing every single thing. I would want to lose my shit on
Well,
Cody at
I
that
think it's a
point.
fair response. I think it's a fair response. If you don't like the way I'm doing it, just do it. I don't think there's any
I think
reason.
that's totally fine.
I don't think
yeah.
there's any reason to be mad about that. Like, obviously, that's going to be my response. I'm going to do. I mean, I feel like to try to be the other side of it. I feel like he is trying to improve. He does come from a place where I'm trying to improve how you're doing it. It is a place
Yeah.
of like he has, I think, hopefully the right intentions, but
Yeah.
just bad execution. And then her response of her saying, "Well, then you can just do it the way you want to do it." Then
And it's not like she like lost her temper. Like she literally.
That's the thing,
laughed
too.
'cause
She's
like,
laughing about it.
really?
Yeah.
like
yeah,
I feel like
think
he
it
was
was
just cranky.
he had a bad day. She
Mhm,
says that
yeah.
early on. I remember that. So I think it was just a result of
I
the
strugg-
bad day on top of that.
I think I've been both of those people. Like more often than not, I'm the person that's being very particular because I'm really cranky about my
Right.
day. That I'm like,
Yep.
why are you doing that? Like, I hate everything you're doing. Stop.
Exactly.
But I've also been,
Exactly.
but I wouldn't have reacted like her. If Cody had done that to me, I'd be like, you did that. And I would have just like slammed her something and been like, good luck.
Yeah,
enjoy
walk
the
away. Yeah,
dishes.
that's what I would have done too. That's yours then. I wouldn't have done it playfully. I would have been pissed. I would have been like, all right, I'm out.
Yeah, no, neither of my responses on both sides are good responses, but I come by it honestly.
We wouldn't have laughed in either scenario. But
No.
hey, Susie, what's up? Thanks for popping in. Appreciate it. That was a good one. That was a good one. You're right.
Yeah, I felt like you and Pesky would have interesting I can't talk today. Ashhole and contribution.
Ashhole and contribution.
I'm Sean Connery today.
Yeah, you are.
All right.
Trying to decide which one to do. Are yours longer ones or not really?
Not really.
Because I have a medium one, a long one, and a short one.
Whichever one you like best.
Okay.
You don't need to reserve a lot of time for me. I have just a bunch of different like little ones because my ADHD has been strong lately. So.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm not diagnosed with ADHD, but
To be clear, yeah. It's,
just so we're clear. I always was like, wow, dad has such undiagnosed ADHD. I wonder what that's like.
they're quoting SNL in
I
the
know what
chat
it's
right
like.
now. That's what's going on.
Oh, I do know the tits now.
Let it snow.
She wrote Litits now.
It's let it
so
snow.
I'm not wrong.
All right, I'll do this one. Am I
Who
the asshole?
diagnosed you, Mad Murph? Me? This is such a noisy. Anyway, go ahead.
Am I the asshole for refusing to remove a piece of jewelry at the request of my friend on her wedding day?
Sorry. I
Yeah,
got
Susie, I'll help
distracted.
you with
Can
that. It's super easy. It's super duper easy. I'll send you something showing you how to do it.
Okay, will you repeat the title?
Or Pesky can. I think Pesky knows how to do it too. The title is, Am I the asshole for refusing to remove a piece of jewelry at the request of my friend on her wedding day?
I need more context. I know, Envy, it's like, okay, is she being a bridezilla or like what's the jewelry? I gotta know.
Okay, here we go.
I know, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like what? Because
They actually, in the video, I I got this from, because I actually got this one off of TikTok, and then I went and found the story on Reddit after. Like, I heard them talk about it, and then I went and found it. And they actually posted a picture of the jewelry in question.
Okay.
But I don't know where they got it, because I'm not seeing it on the post anywhere. Is what's
Hold on, I'm
confusing.
hearing something.
It's me talking. I'm just kidding. I'm not seeing it on the post, so I'm not sure how legitimate that was, but...
Hearing something. I don't know what's going on out there. Anyway.
Yeah, Envy,
Yeah, I
that's
want to hear the
exactly,
jewelry. I want to see the jewelry.
that's exactly
later.
what it was, Envy. That's why they had to take it. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Oh
Okay.
my gosh! Okay, since that's not actually what it is, can I interject with a quick, brief story?
Yeah, go. Yeah.
I have a friend that I won't name, who does have piercings in that location. But it's
Okay.
like a secret. Like, people don't know that, and you would never guess that this
Oh.
person would have that.
Got it.
And so she was at a wedding and was wearing a dress. Fine. A picture of her dancing at the wedding was posted on Facebook. And you can see the
So
outline of
it's
it.
not a secret
And
anymore, is what you're saying.
So people who knew took a screenshot and texted her and was like, "What's this?"
So what you're saying is it's no longer a secret anymore.
Apparently not. No.
That's hilarious.
So funny.
That's hilarious.
Okay, now you can tell your story.
Okay. See, what's funny is
Outline of nipple piercings. I'll just say that. I'll just say
let's
it.
say it. Let's say it out. The few people I know that have that are proud of it. So that's what I'll say about it. So
Yeah. Okay.
that's all I'll say about it.
And you're
okay.
one of them.
On to the story. Yeah, it's me.
It's me.
I'm the problem. It's me. Okay. So, am I the asshole for refusing to remove a piece of jewelry at the request of my friend on her wedding day?
Okay.
My 31 female friend... No, I'm 31 female and my friend is 30 female. There we go. My friend,
Okay.
we'll call Mary, got married last
Okay.
week, and I was in her bridal party. For context, we are friends from high school, and all of her other bridesmaids were friends from college, who I hadn't met until her bachelorette party several months ago. I also
Okay.
wasn't familiar with anyone at this wedding outside of Mary's immediate family.
Okay.
I was supposed to attend the wedding with my own fiance, but he contacted COVID 5 days before we were supposed to leave and made the choice to stay home for everyone's safety. I tested
Mhm.
negative, and we don't live together.
hmm
Our 5th anniversary of our first date was 2 months ago. I just pulled my headphone out. Hold on. There we go. And he got me a beautiful opal necklace on a gold chain, specifically to wear to the wedding because it complemented my bridesmaid's dress. I asked Mary in our bridal party group chat if she was all right with us wearing our own jewelry to the wedding. She said no problem.
Okay. I was like, at first I was like, well, does she have, because like I've been in a wedding where the bride gave me specific jewelry to wear, right? And like I wouldn't really consider that bridezilla, just like, okay, but if she said no problem, continue.
Yep, I knew that would be a point for you. That's why I was waiting for that. Day of the wedding comes. All of us bridesmaids and Mary meet early in the morning for pictures outside the chapel. Mary sees my necklace and loves it, and actually asked if she could switch her necklace with mine. Some other bridesmaids chime in and say that would be her something borrowed. I tried as politely as I could to tell her that my fiance got this for me to wear. I'm trying not to laugh because Pesky's freaking out.
The bride wanted to wear that.
My fiance got this for me to wear to the wedding, and especially since he can't be here, I'd like to keep it on. Mary and
I'm like, let's all just keep our own clothes on.
Mary and the other bridesmaids were persistent, saying it was her wedding and her pictures, and I wasn't being accommodating. But I firmly told them no. Mary then said, well, if I could at least take it off since it looked nicer than her own jewelry. Again, I told her, I'd rather not. I'd like to share the wedding photos of myself in the necklace with my fiance. She was not happy. Neither of the bridesmaids were either. I received a lot of cold shoulders and dirty looks at the ceremony and reception, and I felt awful. After the first dance, Mary's sister came up to me to tell me just how upset Mary was and how rude it was that I upset her on her big day. Am I the asshole It's been more than a week, and I'm still thinking about it nonstop, and Mary hasn't answered any of my texts.
That bride let a necklace ruin her wedding day.
There are
The audacity.
a lot of females in chat piping up right now. I just want to point that out.
Yeah. That's the stupidest you Let's just all wear our own clothes today. How's that sound? That's so funny. The audacity to just
Mary buying extra shit then.
literally, like, you don't like your own necklace. You could have bought any necklace in the whole world for your wedding day, and you bought that one. Sorry about it.
This was one where I knew it would be cut clean and dry, but it's so funny that I knew that you guys would react this way, and that's why I wanted to share it so bad.
Not to wear it. She didn't just tell her not to wear it. She said, "Give it to me."
Well, see, that's the problem, Envy. It's the day of the wedding already, so it's too late.
Yeah.
You can't, like, if it had been like at the bachelor party or something, then yeah, definitely just buy her own or something. But
yeah. Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
Oh god, yeah, I was
you,
very much.
You let your whole wedding day be like ruined by a necklace.
Pesky had to allow asshole for one of those messages.
I know, that was funny.
I missed it.
Envy earlier said ashhole, and that was fine. So maybe everybody just type ashhole.
Oh god, that's so funny. Okay, not much discussion from that one. It's a funny one.
Funny.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Brittany said she would take off the necklace for you.
Okay, you're so nice. Now I'm not gonna make any promises because now I just want to mess with you on my wedding day and be like, Brittany, where'd you get that necklace?
Brittany, where'd you get that dress? I really like that dress. We're gonna have to switch.
I like it.
We're gonna have to switch.
Can we
switch dress? Nobody gives a shit about what necklace anyone's wearing. Nobody cares about the details of the wedding. Just like they got married. Nobody's going to be like, oh, but only Mary was wearing that bridesmaid dress.
Yeah. And nobody's gonna be like, "Ooh, it's really embarrassing for her that the bridesmaid's necklace is nicer than hers." Like, who cares?
That wedding was almost perfect if only the bride had the bridesmaid's necklace on. Well, you heard that she asked for it, and she said no.
She asked for
no,
it.
she didn't. Oh my god, her hair is full of secrets.
Mom, what the hell's wrong with you? I like on
There you go, Envy. That's the way to do it.
That's funny. On Schitt's Creek, when he asks Alexis to walk him down the aisle, so like on his wedding day, she walks out in a wedding dress, and she's like, "It's black and white theme, David." And he's like, "It looks like you're wearing a wedding dress."
That's
and
such
they're
a
about
good
to walk
show.
down the aisle, and she goes, "David, I really do think I'm wearing a wedding dress." And he goes, "You are."
This is such a good show. That's one of my favorite shows. That's why we spent $500 on planning our wedding in a week. See, that's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. Just bing, bang, boom.
Too late.
Just really quick, I saw Radical earlier asked. I was in the middle of something else and I didn't acknowledge it, but I'm remembering now. He asked me what I was drinking. This is strawberry flavored sparkling water. It's very good.
Where'd you get it?
Anyway.
Aldi?
No, Aldi.
Oh, we have an Aldi down the street.
Aldi's actually got some good shit. I'm not gonna lie.
It
But
was surprising.
They're very particular in their methods, though. You got to go in knowing what to do because they're no nonsense kind of place. You just get in, get out. Yeah.
We went to Aldi and Cody had never been there, and I was like, "Well, you have to put a quarter in to get a cart." And he's like, "What?" And I was like, "Well, no, you get it back when you put the cart away." And he's like, "What?" So funny.
He's like, "Katie, are we poor?"
Things in there are cheaper too. We went to Kroger and then went to Aldi, and I'm like,
and it's good. There's no reason not to.
You're not gonna get everything there, but like,
nah.
Yeah.
Don't get cheese there. Don't get sliced cheese there. That's my one thing.
Oh no.
When you get their sliced cheese, it like crumbles when you try to take it out of like the packaging thing. Like if you get the packaged cheese or whatever.
Yeah.
But anyway.
What happened?
It just crumbles when you like try to take it out of the like you know how when you take out a normal piece of cheese, it's just like a big piece of. It just when you take it out, it disintegrates in your hands. Like it.
Yeah.
It tastes fine, but it's like weird consistency.
Okay.
I was at a stag do last weekend, and one couple we were with kept comparing their their SD from the year before and being so rude, like, damn nigga Nancy, why are you even here? Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Oh, suit and dress. Is that what it was? Yeah, that's what she meant. I figured it out.
Okay.
Oh, I suppose it's your turn.
I have options. Oh, we could do that one.
Oh, there you go, Susie. I didn't even know that. You can buy special quarters, Aldi quarters on Etsy.
Okay. Why does it save them? Well, I know it saves them in chronological order, but I wish it would save them in the order I saved them. I have a joke. Do you want to hear a joke first?
Yeah, it's your joke.
I think the story of Noah's life was a bit boring, but it did have a nice arc.
There it is. There it is.
Okay. Oh, those are the ones we talked about last time. So, okay, this one I feel like, okay, we're just gonna jump into it.
Yep.
Am I the asshole for telling my sister the reason why she doesn't look like me or my brother is because she's not one of us?
Can I tell you, I saw this title when I was searching for the last episode, but I never read it. And I'm going to say yes based on that alone.
Let's hope it gets better.
Yeah, I didn't read it, so I don't know what's about to happen.
Is she really not one of them? Okay. No, is she just joking? That's something I would say. Sean would say that to me, to be honest. So,
I did, yeah. Yep.
That would.
I definitely told you that at least once. We're not related at all. Mom found you. Sorry, go ahead.
They said, well, we have it. This is way better than what we got at home. Let's take this one.
Oh, god damn it. You turned that around on me. You turned that around on me real good.
Okay.
From the zoo, exactly, Susie. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're totally fine. From the zoo. That's where Sean came from. Look at his hair.
God damn it. Go. Read your story.
You stopped us for that one. Okay. I, 17-year-old male, the middle child in the family of 3. I have one older brother, Adam, 23 male, and one younger sister, 6-year-old female.
Okay. My
parents only had my sister a few years ago via surrogacy because they wanted another child and some other reasons.
Well,
my
6
mom and
years
dad
ago, right? Because she's 6.
a few years ago.
Sorry, I just for logistics' sake, they had my little sister a few years ago. She's 6.
All credibility gone.
Well, when you said a few years ago, I was like, oh, adopted, no surrogacy. Oh, all right.
Which I have some thoughts about that too, but let's go through this first.
All right, continue.
Okay. Only had my sister 6 years ago via surrogacy. They want another child. My mom and dad did try to have Bella themselves. Their attempts failed multiple times because Bella was born via surrogacy. She looks different from me and my brother, of course.
Right.
And I'm gonna finish, but like,
yeah, we can pause.
Isn't surrogacy usually still biologically theirs?
So it can. It depends on how you do it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Envy. That's not how that works. They say surrogacy. Do they mean that they adopted it from a pregnant woman?
That's not what that is. Yeah.
No, because surrogacy would be the mother and the father donating their sperm and egg, not their sperm.
I'm wondering if this person is misunderstanding.
Or maybe the mom's eggs were the problem, so he donated sperm.
Well, that's what I was.
Another person,
that's what I was
and they have a
assuming.
Mom.
That's what I was assuming.
That's possible. So it's got to be something weird. But I read that and I was like, I don't understand. Okay.
Anyway.
Either way, now Bella's teacher had assigned a task where they'd have to write about their family and make a family tree of some sorts. My mom was very excited to do a task like this, and she got out our family photo album and began showing Bella photos of our aunts and uncles and other relatives. Bella was very curious, so she began to notice the differences between her and our relatives, I guess, because she asked why she looked different from me and Adam and everyone else in our family. I just told her, "You're not fully one of us." No malice intent or anything, just the truth. She isn't really like us in the sense of DNA and other things.
Yeah.
I guess this news made her upset because she kind of started crying like crazy on the spot, and my mom just shot me a dirty look like she wanted to skin me alive or something.
Yeah,
It took
she's
quite a
6.
while
You
of-
can't say that. Yeah, sorry.
It took quite a while of reassurance for Bella to understand that being different wasn't anything bad and that she was still her child regardless. I got a call from my older brother saying I was being a total asshole and that I was ridiculous for saying such a thing to a 6-year-old and that I should be
Mhm.
ashamed of us.
Hmm.
It was just something I said. I mean it when I say there was no bad intention behind it. Bella was bound to know in the future anyway, so what was the harm of telling her now? She's 6
Yeah. Yeah, she's 6 years old. You can't. So is
She
this an
added an
I am the
edit.
asshole? Or am I the
Yeah.
asshole? Is that okay?
Yeah.
I believe that he didn't have the right intent. Or, like, he didn't have ill intent. He just came off badly.
Yeah.
I don't think he meant to be mean. I think it was just a... Yeah, you're not. And he
What
didn't
a
really
stupid
think...
thing to say.
He didn't really think he was... He didn't
He's
realize...
17.
He didn't think... Right. He didn't think about what he was saying.
But that's an asshole move. And to like be told to... He was like, well, she kind of started like crying.
Yeah.
And also to be like,
that's a good
what's
point.
the big deal about telling her now? Well, probably that she's 6.
Yeah.
There was an edit that he added that said, I didn't mention this, but my sister's been avoiding me lately because of what I said, and she's kind of been distancing herself when family comes in. As much as a 6-year-old can.
Was this the one? Was this the one where you said there was an edit and you skipped over it, or was that the last one?
No, that was a different one, and
What
then
was-
it wasn't that interesting.
Oh, okay. All right. Never mind.
I don't remember. It was some things about their relationship, I
Okay,
think.
that's fine. Okay. Yeah, it's a dick move for
Um,
sure, but he's also 17, and 17-year-olds just are dicks. That's just the way of the.
How does a 6-year-old distance herself?
Yeah, that's a
That
weird
makes
comment though. His comments after the fact, like in the moment, I can give him some benefit of the doubt of he didn't
Yeah,
really
and
realize
he's
what
like-
he's saying. But the
I'd be
fact
like, oh shit, I
that
shouldn't have said that.
and the fact that now he's saying like, oh, she was like crying or something, and then he comes back and then at the end saying like she's really distant, like he's just dumb. I think he's just dumb. I think
I think he's so stupid.
he's just. I'm sorry, but I think he's just dumb.
Like, what? Oh my gosh. You can't tell a child they're not one of us.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Oh, Lord.
this does remind me of a story with Pesky.
Yeah, I
I-
thought you were going to tell this. I'm going to eat my airborne vitamins while I listen.
Okay. This reminds me of Pesky. So Pesky has a younger sister who is a half sister, and when she was like 8 or something. So for reference, Pesky and I were when Pesky and I started dating, she was like 7. So I'd known her for like a year at this point, and she's like 21 now. So if you do the math there, that's how long Pesky and I have been together. And at the time, I don't remember how it came up. We were talking about, I don't know, we were talking about something, and the topic of her being a half sister came up.
Yeah.
Or no, it was her asking Pesky about her dad, because they have different dads, and I think she was asking something
Mhm.
about Pesky's dad. And I was like, yeah, you guys are half sisters. That's what that is. That's what it's called when you have a different parent that's different, whatever. And she's like,
Yeah.
we're not real sisters, and she runs off crying. I'm like, oh no, oh god.
Oh,
But
no.
before y'all get mad at me, she came back in and was laughing her ass off because she was messing with me, and she was not actually upset, and she knew exactly what half sisters were. She was just being a little asshole.
What?
Yep.
I didn't know that part.
Yep. She came running back in and laughing her ass off, and I felt terrible for like a good 5 minutes, and then she came in doing that evil laugh that she did at that age.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so I can't even do it. She can still do it if she was here.
Oh, yeah.
She was here earlier. I almost wish she still was here and she could put it on
That's
for you.
so
But yeah.
funny.
So before you get mad at me,
Oh my
she was messing
gosh.
with me.
I've heard this story before and I never knew she was messing with you.
Oh yeah,
That's
she
so
was
funny.
messing with me. Yep.
That's hilarious. But too long for this chat. Send it to us and we
Yeah,
can
yeah. Submit it.
discuss it next week.
Post it on either the Discord or on the YouTube comments because we have a YouTube channel this will be on.
Yeah.
And you can post it in the comments there, and then we will tell the story. No, that's funny.
Oh, that's so funny. Whew. All right. You got one?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just gonna do this one. This other one's kind of dumb, so if we don't get to it, it's not the end of the world. This one's deep though. This might be a little bit of discussion.
Okay, maybe we should finish with this one then.
Finish with the one I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
Mean?
If
Okay,
there's
do you
discussion, I want to hear it.
Do you want to? Oh, you want to just make this? I see what you're saying. Yeah. Okay.
No, we don't have to. We can do more.
So the
but
title
there's
is.
gonna be a lot of discussion.
The title is. Am I the asshole for not using my daughter's college fund for my stepson's rehab?
I don't want to say anything until I hear the Because you said for you, like when you said for my stepsons, and I was like, no, it's a college fund.
For not using my daughter's college fund for my
yikes.
stepson's rehab.
Once you said rehab, I was like,
This is the daughter's mother for the reference, and then the son is the father's, just for reference.
wait. Oh, stepson. Oh, that's messy.
So it's
Oh,
her
that's
daughter,
messy.
and then her husband's son, her stepson.
Okay, read it to me.
I'm giving you that.
I gotta know more.
I'm giving you that context now after I read it a few times, so that you're
Feels icky.
prepared.
I
so
don't
that you're
know. I
prepared.
don't like it, and I don't not like it. I'm confused.
So here's the best part. The first sentence is the title basically sums it up.
It better not. You better give me more, lady. I mean,
The title
'Cause, like,
basically
maybe
sums
a
it up,
little bit.
I suppose. My husband and I have been married for 3 years. I have a daughter, 15 female, and he has a son, 24 male.
oh, so the son was already like 21 when they got married. That matters. Okay.
I am friendly with my stepson, but we aren't close. He has a biological mother who is a perfectly fine woman. I'm not here to take the role of his mom.
Okay.
Sorry, I was reading the comments that
Yeah,
Envy was saying.
yeah.
Envy
I
makes
was too.
Envy makes a good point, but we'll
get into it.
We'll get into it. Yep. My late husband, my daughter's father, died when my daughter was 6. We both contributed to her college fund. My daughter's paternal grandparents have also contributed a large amount. Right now, the fund is about $180,000. My daughter is extremely bright, and I'm not just saying that because I'm her mom. I truly believe she has the capacity to go to an Ivy League school, and her teachers have said she has the potential as well. And I don't want
Sounds
costs.
like she can get a scholarship.
And I don't want costs to hold her back. Our income would be too high to get any meaningful financial aid. And while there is a few merit-based scholarships out there like that, she will be applying to. Excuse me. We don't want to put all our eggs in one basket and hope she gets it when
There's a
it's
lot
so
of merit
competitive.
scholarships. That's bullshit. Continue.
My current husband and I have separate finances. He doesn't contribute at all to my daughter's fund. My stepson is struggling with a heroin addiction and has stolen money, jewelry, heirlooms, and electronics from us for drug money. I understand that addiction is a disease, and I personally paid for an outpatient detox for him that cost $1,000, which failed. His father then paid for an outpatient rehab program which cost $6,500, which also didn't work because he barely showed up. He promised us he'd do better next time and he needed another chance. So I split the cost of another $6,500 outpatient rehab program with my husband, which seemed to work during the program. But he relapsed as soon as he got out of it, and I spent so much money, time, and energy that it hasn't helped at all. My husband and my stepson want to try a 60-day inpatient rehab program, which will cost $30,000. I had absolutely no idea where they were supposed to get the money for that, considering the thousands and thousands of dollars that were already spent, and the fact that we no longer had anything of value in our house. They want us to use my daughter's college fund, which to me is absolutely off limits. I feel like it's completely unfair to my daughter to punish her for my stepson's addiction, unfair to my late husband and his parents, but frankly, I don't think spending $30,000 will work. My husband thinks I'm an asshole because I'm prioritizing my daughter's education over his son's life, and he believes medical needs come first.
Well,
There's more. You can go ahead. We'll pause for a second, but there's one
Oh
more
my God.
blurb.
She sucks.
There's one more blurb.
She's a shitty person. Continue. Not necessarily because of this. She just seems like she really sucks. Okay.
He then asked my daughter if she'd be willing to use $30,000 from her fund to pay for her stepbrother's rehab.
That's
and she got very quiet and did not answer.
That's
He then got
so-
very upset with her and
No.
said she was being selfish.
Oh
my
God.
daughter later told me that she didn't want to give her stepbrother the money, but she felt so guilty. And I am furious at my husband for emotionally guilt tripping my daughter like that. That's the end.
This is one where everyone sucks.
Yep.
You can't ask the daughter. That's so inappropriate.
That was crossing a line for me too.
Too far. Too far. The mother sucks. Okay? She kind of sucks. Because she's like, I understand that it's a disease. And then said all the things that showed that she didn't understand it was a disease.
Well, that's my thought, Pesky, is
Yeah.
where does it end? Like they've already spent a lot of money on this, and they're about to spend a lot more money. This isn't like a step up. This is like a huge financial commitment, and he has showed no proof that he's even gonna do it.
I know that is part of the problem for me, is that they have spent thousands of dollars on it already. But like, I'm not convinced that she was actually that supportive of them doing it in the past, it sounds like. Like, she's like, we already gave him thousands of dollars and he's not doing anything with it. I'm like, well, it doesn't really sound like you're providing any like emotional support to him either.
Sure, yeah.
So
But
like, I just feel like she's not being a supportive stepmom at all for him going through rehab, you know? Like,
Yep,
that's
you're right.
and it's hard because like, who's gonna say that the 30K is actually gonna make a difference? That's a lot of money when you don't know if it's gonna help, because you haven't taken anything seriously.
That's what came out on the other podcast, because this is another one where I found another podcast talking about it, and I went and found the posting and blah blah blah. They made the point of whose idea was the rehab. Do we have any confirmation that the stepson is even taking it seriously?
Yeah.
Like, I think the exact wording is that they came to her with this idea, like, together. So I don't know. It's a little bit vague. But yeah, Mad Murph makes a good point. What if it was cancer? What if it was another disease that we don't have this?
That's because she's acting like he's just choosing to be like this, and like it's a heroin addiction. Like, that's pretty severe. And I didn't like it. Kind of showed a lot to me when she said we gave him $1,000 for his first one and it failed.
Yep.
Well, that just phrasing it like that is like, you mean that he relapsed is what happened, because that's a normal part of the process for a drug addict. It's awful, and it's not, that doesn't make it easy to go through, but like, you're stupid if you think that a drug addict for something like heroin isn't going to relapse.
Yep.
Like,
that's part of the disease.
It's a process to keep supporting them. You married him and he has a son with an addiction. You got to support him. That doesn't mean that paying $30,000 out of a college fund is the right move. That's a whole different discussion. First and foremost, I don't think she's being supportive of him and his like.
Well, I think what they're
his addiction as a whole.
I think what they're trying to get down to is should they use this 180K towards it?
Yeah.
I think
so that was my first like.
I think at the end of the day,
my first thing I just wanted to establish was I don't like the way she's handling it.
But then the 2 more editions are still not showing up. I just hate to give 30,000 and have them not go. That'd be my word. Yeah.
No, I totally agree. I just think it kind of shows that from the beginning. I'm not sure that she was ever really supporting him seriously.
Yeah.
But
at the end of the day, the question is, should they pay for this out of this 180K, regardless of if there's another. I know. Yeah. So I can move on. And that's the question. Now it is. It's tough because it comes down to. I think one argument they made in the other podcast I was watching was, well, that's a good point.
That's why I'm saying if you weren't being a support system, then of course the rehab failed. Like,
right.
Are you holding it against him that he stole from you, that he did X, Y, Z? Like,
yeah,
because you're not supporting him then, and like that doesn't mean you should just forget it. Blah blah blah. But like, you have to be there afterwards. Rehab ends, and it's not like, oh, I'm better. Look how great I'm doing. I'm solved. Like. You have to continue to be there. So if she's not going to be there, you're right. The 30K is a waste. Like,
right.
I do struggle because like they got married, right? Like they agreed to take on each other's children.
Well,
So,
and she's saying she's never been that motherly figure towards him. He was 21 when they got married. He's got his own mom. She never claimed to be his mom. That's what it sounds like. That she's a stepmom. She's there for him, but at the same time, she lets his bio mom do the mom stuff. That's what she's.
I wonder, like, if they've talked to the biological mom about money. If there's like any.
That's
other,
a part that's
I don't
not
know.
part of it. Yeah, that's the part of the picture we're missing is. What's the bio
I like
mom's?
somebody mentioned maybe like giving. I think Envy said offering half.
Yeah.
But like.
Yeah.
Here's my thing with the college fund. Like, I get why she's protective of it. She's like, I worked hard. I saved this for my daughter from the time she was born.
It's kind
He's
of
not contributing to it.
It's kind of something her bio dad gave her before he died, and it's kind of all she has. You know what I mean? Like, it's something that he gave her, and
Yeah.
That's the tough part.
Like,
it's an emotional attachment to the money as much as it is.
It's money. Like,
yeah.
You said she's so smart. She's doing great. Like, she should be able to get scholarships.
And 180,000 is a lot of money, and she's only 15 as well. She's only 15. You have
still
time.
Have time.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
And I think $180,000. If you go to a private school, it can cost $40,000 to $50,000 a year. Let's say $50,000 just for the sake of argument. 4 years of school, $50,000 is $200,000. You almost have enough to pay for her entire life while she's in school. And you can't give $30,000 to help save this kid's life.
Yep.
I don't know about that. Super inappropriate to ask the daughter. That's between you and your wife. That's not a daughter conversation.
Yeah.
It's like, well, what does your daughter think? You'd be okay with it, right? That's not cool.
Yep. I agree with that
like,
as well.
It's already got a lot of money. You're telling me, like, I just don't think she's taking his drug addiction that seriously. I don't think she actually understands that it's a disease like she says she does. Because it's not that cut and dry, and she's kind of making it sound like it is. I don't know.
Now, I'll tell you that the consensus on Reddit is not the asshole.
Yeah.
They don't think that she should give him the money.
I wouldn't necessarily say she's an asshole for saying no. I just think that the way she described how she got to that decision seems like an asshole to me. Yeah, Envy, I understand.
Yeah, it sounds like it was something from the father before he passed, and then the grandparents also put a lot of money into it, is what it sounds like.
So I understand that she's like, it's not his money. Yes, but he's your stepson now, and like.
Well, and I think what the people in the comments are claiming is that it's the daughter's money. It's as if they're asking a 15-year-old to pay for his rehab. That's what the people in the comments are saying. Because it's her college fund. It's not the mom's money or anyone else in the family's money. It's the daughter's money to use for college.
To the daughter.
Hmm?
It wasn't left to the daughter.
It was, though.
It was left to the mom. She has the money.
No.
Is it in a trust for the daughter? Like, what's the situation with the money? Who is the owner of the money?
Well, I mean, it's
legally speaking.
I mean, legally speaking, probably the mom, but it's for the daughter's
you can
college
put
fund.
Money in a trust for kids if you really want them. I don't understand why they would have just.
I don't know. I think I disagree with you there. I think this is the daughter's money, regardless of whose name is on it. It was from the grandparents and the father for her. I don't care whose name is on it. It's for her. So it's the daughter's money, and I.
If that's the clear intent, if the father wasn't just like, I'm leaving you all my money because I died, put some away for the daughter, and she chose to put 180K away.
He died when she was 6. And
she
contributed
must
to the
have
college
added
fund.
To it since then.
Yeah, he contributed to the college fund with me, and her grandparents also contributed a large amount. Is what she says.
Has she added to it since then?
That's all she says.
Because that's
she
her
said,
money.
She said right now the fund was about $180,000.
Okay, so the money that the father left and the grandparents gave, I think there's a fair argument that they can't touch that. Right.
Right.
Did she seem distant? Because she was 6 years old.
Oh, got it. Yeah. I was like, wait a minute.
She started distancing herself.
That was good. That was good.
But I want to know, how much has she contributed? Like,
yeah.
What has she, like,
yeah.
What's her finding? Because I think that's a fair point. I think it's a fair point that, like, if money was left to her and her mom's holding it because she's 15, then, like, you can't expect the mom to just give that money away.
Yep. Yep.
But like, how much of it is actually that versus?
What's so funny is this kind of shows our different mindsets. You've got the lawyer side of it of whose money is it. If it's the mom's money, she should, the mother should use it for this. My mindset is financially, this was meant for her, so it's her. You know what I mean?
No,
this is kind of
that's true. I'm just wondering if she's just like I want to know if that actually was the intent of the father, or if he just like,
God damn
I don't know.
Brit.
I just want to, because like, just because they didn't put it in a trust doesn't like, so technically it's not hers doesn't mean they should just get away with giving it away. But I want to know like who contributed what and why to where.
Yeah.
Because.
But I just think that's funny that that's the different way our minds are taken, because that proves the different career paths we've chosen.
Just put the money in a trust. Stop it. Then this won't happen. Yeah, like is her husband just like mooching off her all the time? Like what's happening there? And then because
the argument somebody made in the other podcast was if they put away $180,000, they probably have a lot of money. And she's so like, they can recoup that really quickly. We gave him $1,000. We gave him $6,500. We gave him another $6,000. No, she said
I have $180,000.
Actually, she said the $1,000 came from the dad. The first $6,500 also came from the dad. The second $6,500 they split down the middle. Okay. That's what she said. The fathers paid him
down the middle.
Just for that. So they said, oh, they have their own finances. I don't know if you must have. Did you miss that part?
Oh, I did miss that part. Sorry, that was a detail I did not remember.
The husband and the wife have completely separate finances.
Interesting.
They've kept everything separate. The stepfather or the father of the addict paid for the first round of rehab for $1,000, paid completely for the second round of rehab for $6,500, and then the third round they split it. She agreed to go half and half on it for another $6,500, and that one failed again. So now they want her to pay for the $30,000 from entirely from the college stuff.
That's a lot to ask. I will say, like, I don't think it's an asshole. Like, not an asshole move not to give the $30K. I just don't like her whole vibe.
No, and I get
that's
that.
my problem, is I don't want to just commit to saying not the asshole, because I think she might kind of be an asshole.
Well, and I give it, the whole thing gives off a snobby rich person vibe. Like, why would I pay for this? Yeah.
But I mean, you made a good point. If the father and grandparents said, we're giving you this money for the college fund, it's not her money. That's a very good point.
That's what my problem with it is.
She contribute
but at the same
money to it herself.
But in the same vein, you can't ask her for it. You know what I mean? Like,
you cannot.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like, the son's 26.
Well, he's 20. He's
24.
Right?
That's not really any.
Like that's not that different. Yeah.
He's trying to say that if it was me, what if it was me and you?
Oh, I would never give you my money.
Just kidding.
I really don't think the age matters.
The age doesn't. The age doesn't matter, Matt Murph. It's the same. It's the same.
I don't
question.
think it matters. I don't think once a person turns 18, suddenly magically you're legally sure you don't have to do anything, but like I think it still stays. Stipulations in place, yeah.
Yeah, like
no, I mean, are there other options? That's super fair, because if they spent that much money in the past, like,
yeah,
you gotta have some reassurance that it's actually
and I think I think a big part of it too is she's probably holding a grudge for the things he's stolen to pay for his drug addiction, because she says right away he's stolen things to pay for rehab. I know Pesky's got some family members that have had a similar situation or pay for drugs. Sorry, yeah, that's what I meant to say.
No, yeah.
Where that kind of thing has happened, and now that person's turned around and they're doing great because they found the right program, they have the support system they needed. So I mean, just because you throw a bunch of money and stuff into a bad situation doesn't necessarily mean this guy's stealing for rehab. Yeah, that's not what I meant to, not what I meant to say.
Maybe he should try it. I'm just
definitely misspoke. But my point is that situation was similar to this one in that they were trying different things and it wasn't working, and then he finally found the program that worked for him, and now he's doing great. So I think that's a good thing. I think that's a on the side of throwing more money at it in the right context wouldn't necessarily be a waste of money, is what I'm trying to say.
No, but
if it's a good program, is there a good support system, blah blah blah. If they're just throwing him into this rehab with like, okay, bye, then
like, here, let's just keep doing it until it sticks. Like, that's not gonna happen.
Right.
What do they do when he leaves rehab? What do they do? That's what do they do while if he wasn't showing up for rehab, were you like talking to him while he was going? Like, or were you just like letting him fend for himself? Because like, I don't think that is going to work then.
Yeah.
I'm not saying, like, again, it's her money, so I don't think she's necessarily an asshole for setting a boundary on that money. But I do think she's kind of an asshole a little bit. And Murph said, like, it's an understandable grudge. It is. Like, I 100% agree. It's very easy for me to be all altruistic here, being like, yeah, but it was a disease. You know, that's a lot of stress that he's probably put on their life. So I don't mean to make it sound like that. But she did say, I understand it's a disease, and then said all that other stuff. So I'm like, well, don't say you understand it's a disease if you're not.
Hey, what's up, toxic? Things are happening. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yep.
This is definitely a good one to end on. You were right.
It was intense. It was intense.
That's also why I saved it, because it was another deep dive one.
The only person I don't have a problem with is the daughter, because what a shitty.
Well, yeah,
and that sucks.
Yeah, you're 15. That's
he really lost a lot of sympathy, because then I was like, okay, what other boundaries are you crossing if you just asked the daughter for her money? Like, that's a problem. No, Envy's so right.
Envy, like, you're right. It's a tough situation.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Intense.
He said, do one about camping, because that would be really intense. Because that one was intense.
Stupid.
Yeah. The last one I had in comparison was just about how this guy's roommate was mad because he keeps a bunch of axes and bows in their joint dorm room.
A dorm room? Don't keep that in there.
And when they talked to the like administration about it, the administration was like, as long as you're not hurting anybody, it's fine. Hey, wait, is that a so-and-so type of axe? I have one too.
What school is this?
This is overseas. This is not in America. Also, to be clear.
Even more surprising.
and then the guy says something about this guy smelled and he was dirty and he took really smelly shits. And it's like, okay. Okay.
That's just living with someone sometimes.
Well, that was
like,
the guy writing this is like, I'm the one with all the weapons. But this guy who's complaining about my weapons is smelly. So
Wait, the roommate commented?
No. The guy who writes the story is the guy who has the axes and knives and stuff. And his roommate is complaining about it, and his response is, well, my roommate smells bad, so he can just shut up.
I thought the other guy was the one right.
Nope.
Okay, so I reiterate. Living with someone who's smelly is just, you live in a dorm. Sorry about it. Like, that's just bad luck.
I wanted to turn it up. That's so good.
Axe, buddy.
That's so good.
That's so funny.
That's perfect. That was perfect.
Oh my gosh.
That was so good. Thank you for that, Envy. That was amazing.
You can't just
that
have
was
axes
amazing.
and shit in your dorm room.
Anyway, I wanted to give a quick summary on that one just to end it on a funny note.
As long as you're not hurting anybody. Well, no, my axe is on the wall right now, but maybe tomorrow I'll whip it out. Like, what are you talking about?
This guy goes camping once a month. Also, Murph. So that's so there's your intense
for me.
Yep.
Good lord.
And the best part is the comments say he's not the asshole.
What? You're an asshole for having axes in your dorm room. What are you doing with it? Like, what are you doing with it? And it's not like one singular axe propped up against the wall. Like, he's got a slew of weapons.
Oh, it's just, yeah.
Get a storage locker. Exactly. This is a dorm room.
I have a bunch of knives, 2 axes, and 3 bows. I do archery a lot in my free time, almost weekly. I also go camping once a month. I don't give a fuck if it makes him uncomfortable. He can go somewhere else.
Okay, if he does do archery, it makes sense to have bows in the room. I'll give him that. It's
that kind of thing, Mom. They're all for his hobbies, supposedly, is what this guy's claiming.
But I mean, is it like an excess? Like,
it's clearly an excessive amount. The fact that you have to say a bunch of knives, 2 axes, and 3 bows.
2 axes. That's too many for a dorm room.
Envy. It's so funny you said that because this is another one where I pulled it off of TikTok. or you two actually. And what the people are talking about were saying was, your roommate's guilty of being a loser for he's mad at me because I'm too cool.
Listen, I lived in a dorm and I don't want a bunch of axes in my dorm room. It's crowded.
His argument in the comments is that in his country, like, they don't have as much a stipulation on weapons and stuff, I guess. I don't know.
Neither do we, and look how that's going for us.
Well, right. Yeah.
No, I just like the archery thing that makes sense, right? Like, you're not gonna do much damage with a bow and arrow. I just feel like if you've got all this shit, like, you don't live alone. Be mindful. Put your shit away.
Yeah.
Get a storage locker.
Yep.
Damn. Oh my gosh.
Anyway, maybe we can touch more on that one next time. I can read you the full story and go through, because there's a lot of comments on this one that like are going back and forth on it. So it's, I just thought it was funny. I just thought it was funny.
Okay. Yeah.
But anyway, we can end it there. I think we're at the hour and a half point, which is kind of our max.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
That was a good one.
Yep. Well,
we had some good discussions today. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you, Katie, once again for joining me. Do some shout outs. So Katie has a weekly virtual concert. I want to keep calling them quarantine concerts, but they're not. They are Sydney sessions. That's what this thing in the corner over here is all about. So if you want to talk about that for a second, you can.
Oh yeah, I'm going to Sydney. The one in
Is that
Australia.
it? Is that the whole?
And I'm trying to raise money. Final note: Mary sucks. Sorry, that was funny.
The new Karen is Mary.
Mary's the worst.
We're gonna call Karen's Marys from now on.
Yeah, on this podcast, it's Mary's, not Karen's.
Yep.
So I'm trying to raise money for my trip to Sydney, and so every Sunday I'm doing a live stream on Facebook and Instagram, playing music. People can come on, listen, request songs if you want, and if you're willing and able to donate, there's a link to do that there too. So Sunday is on my Facebook, which is Katie Ray Music, and my Instagram, which is Miss Katie Ray.
I usually have it somewhere on my stream, so you guys can just keep an eye out on that. And I actually share, I do like a watch party in the Discord of it from the Facebook stream, so you can watch it there too if you don't want to go on Instagram or on Facebook. And then there's a little Venmo thing you can use to donate. So
yeah, thanks.
For me, as I mentioned, the Discord, I won't be streaming tomorrow, unfortunately. Neither is Pesky, but I will be live Friday morning, so I will see you guys then for my next stream.
Are you doing words on stream next Wednesday?
Yeah, on the off weeks that we're not doing this podcast, I do words on stream. I think that's when I met Envy, was during one of those words on stream, if I remember right. I
wanted to play last week with you, and so I was like, okay, I'll finish my trial stuff first, and then I was up till 12:30 doing my trial stuff, so I didn't get to play. So I'll be there on Wednesday.
So the week from today, so that's how this podcast works. For those that don't know, we do this bi-weekly. On the off weeks, I usually will do like a words on stream or something similar with the community, just to fill the time gap that we would normally be live. So with Katie and I's busy schedules, it's just easier to do bi-weekly. And so these are all available on the YouTube page. The YouTube page you can find on my socials, on my Linktree. Did that work?
Nice.
I don't know if that worked.
Yep,
that worked. Okay.
It worked.
So if you go on my Linktree, you can find the YouTube channel where I post all the YouTube videos of this later on. So you can post comments there on, you can post comments or DMs or messages anywhere on ideas for podcast content, stories you want us to tell on stream and discuss. Anything of that nature.
Tell us what you want to hear.
Any of that.
Tell us stories, Envy.
Give us ideas on what you want to see, because we're always looking for new ideas. This whole Reddit storytelling has been a kind of a gold mine for us. It's had the last couple episodes given us a lot of content, so that's been good. So.
Yeah, and we this is what we do when we're home, right? Like, we show each other TikToks. I would like to do a thing where we compile TikToks that we want to show each other and do one of those too, but just.
I had that. Yep, I thought that'd be a good idea. I actually, I have the TikTok app on my computer. I didn't know that was a thing until now. You can actually scroll TikTok from your computer, so I can just share the TikTok screen that way.
Okay, and then I can send you the one.
What I'll do is I'll just go through our message conversation on TikTok
just
and look at TikToks.
Yeah. So just stuff that we do when we're together, which is stuff like this.
Some things we should have said at the beginning. So this is LOMHOT Podcast, which means Lakes of Minnesota.
Hills of Tennessee.
Because I live in Minnesota.
and I live in Tennessee.
There you go. Yeah. Okay.
I got my Minnesota shirt on today, though.
Oh, there you go. I'm wearing Hoochie Coochie. So I guess that
that's
kind of works. Yeah,
shirt.
yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. So that's the this podcast was meant to be kind of like whenever Katie's home, we get on rambles of this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Or when we call each other, it ends up being an hour and a half phone call. So
Yeah.
this was meant to be kind of this is our hour and a half phone call. I probably won't talk to you again until a day before 2 weeks from now, or 2 weeks from now.
Hopefully not.
Reminding you, hey, we should do something tomorrow. That's what happened this episode. Hey, what are we doing tomorrow?
I know.
Happens every
Honestly,
week.
at this point, we just tell stories, so it's fine.
Yeah, when Katie's home, she's on
I
the
know
floor
I haven't
laughing.
fallen off
Usually.
the floor here, so that's good.
No, not yet. Knock
I
on
did
wood.
kill a bug in
Knock
one
on wood.
episode.
Oh, that's such a good clip. I'll find that. But anyway,
It's so funny.
I have to put together some compilations of this. Now that we're,
Yeah,
what is this, 10 episodes in? 7 episodes in? 9 episodes
they're all on
in?
YouTube. If
This is
you,
episode
if you
9.
haven't seen any of them, so
It's episode 9 that we've done of this. So I think we have enough content to put together a compilation.
keep
of
going.
videos
Oh,
and
I'll
things.
stay. Don't worry, Pesky.
What? Keep Katie on after. I want to show her there. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we
I would
wanna-
also
Go ahead.
like to say that I'm really happy that we're here doing this because my iPhone just made a suggestion for me, something I might want to do.
Yeah.
Is start a timer for 10 minutes because I do that every day because that's how long I have for my opening and closing and all that kind of stuff. But I'm practicing for trial.
That's great.
And I'm like, absolutely no. Thank you for that suggestion. But I'm going
That's-
to give you a solid no.
That's fantastic.
Something special for our 10th episode.
That's a good point. Yeah, we could do something. We'll think about it.
Yeah.
Ideas.
We'll mull it
Give us
over.
ideas. We
Yeah.
are always looking for new ideas. I don't know who to raid. I was just, if anyone has a suggestion on who to raid, I desperately need one because I don't have anyone live.
Oh, our off week is the week you're here, probably. So I was just doing the math.
Yeah, 2 days of
shows.
planning, probably envy. You're right. Our off week is
Yeah.
week I'm here. Well, we can always switch that
2
if we
days
want to
might
do
be
one
pushing
from.
it.
If we want to do one from Nashville.
Well,
Oh wait, no, because I'm probably gonna be flying in that Wednesday.
yeah,
so
and I
that's
also
not
have
gonna...
a final the next
Yeah,
day.
so that works
check your
out.
Snapchat.
That works out then. Oh god. Oh god, here we go.
Oh.
Oh, he's all right. I'll watch
Just so
it.
everyone
now that
can
I've
see
seen
what
it.
it
Yeah,
is.
now that I've seen it, I'll watch it later.
Don't want. I'm just kidding. Jeff
All right,
is
yeah,
laughing.
we'll do Jeff. Well, you guys can watch some Sea of Thieves content. It's pretty good. Jeff's a good guy. He's a PC guy. He does a lot of PC help with a few friends of ours. So make sure to go spread the love over there. Until next time,
If you're
everybody.
a
Thank you.
subscriber.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought you were gonna do like the.
Thank you guys for hanging out again. If you are a subscriber, you hold on, I lost my button now. If you're a subscriber, you can say this. If you're not, you can say that. Just make sure you spread the love and until next time, don't be a Mary. Bye.
Try not to laugh episode. That's a really good idea.
That's a really good idea. I'm back. That's a really good
That's
idea.
not going
I'd already
to
went to the end stream. I already went to the end screen when I came back because that was a really good idea. Okay, I'm leaving again. Bye.
We're doing it.
Okay, bye.